initiative. Nathan, you want to go ahead and start us off here?
Yeah. Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Nathan, and I am the GM for Embers in the Ash. We are a Blades in the Dark group going through a short-term campaign. Tonight we're going to do things a bit different. We are going to do the downtime exercises from our last score. So Blades in the Dark is set up to be you run a score, which is a mission or whatever. Then you run some downtime. Then you try to figure out in a free play what you're going to do next. So that's what we're going to do. It's going to be a little more mechanical. It's going to be some role play, a lot of role play and scenes and things like that to bring the world to life. We thought it's really important to be able to do this and to bring the characters a little bit more to life as well. So let's start. Who would like to start? Anybody? Just
Can I say something real quick?
Oh, you're more than welcome to.
I guess it's technically my channel, but thanks to these lovely folks like this who are inviting all these wonderful people here, I broke a milestone on the channel. So in celebration of that, I'm going to give away a copy of the Blades in the Dark book this evening. So if you all stick around, I think we'll probably do it towards the end, like maybe right before we're like doing our outros. We'll have keyword entry to it, and after that we'll draw a winner. So stick around. I'd like to have you around, and maybe you can win a good copy of this awesome game that Nathan has so wonderfully introduced me to, and I will always cherish it. Anyway, I'm going to shut up and let's get back to the game.
No, just real quick. Are you okay? You're live. I for some reason I couldn't find it, so it wasn't showing up as live for me. So maybe someone's stuck on my mistake. Maybe it's a me issue.
I'm watching it on Twitch.
Okay, all right, never mind.
So it is live.
Hey, all good then.
All
That's
good.
totally me being old. All right. So okay, that's fine. I get it. So I think who would like to start? Who wants to introduce your character? Let's go around one by one. Remind everyone who we're playing, who we are, and what we're about.
I'll go first because it's my birthday. So I'm just taking the reins. Duval! Hello, everybody. My name is Jacob Duval, King Jacob on the internet. As Josh so awesomely mentioned, I'm 25 years I get old again for the ninth time. So excited to be here. These fine folks actually asked me, hey, Jacob, what do you want to do for your birthday and stuff like that? And I was like, I want to play games with friends. So here we are. But I will say on a serious note, if you wanted to do something, you were like, hey, dude, I want to do something for your birthday. I would love for you to go to SirNowhere.com and buy something because Maddie and Mark are going through not so super hot time. So check them out and buy some stuff because honestly, if you don't, I'll probably buy more dice than I should. I'm a dice goblin. What can you do? So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. As far as who I'm playing Jason Detumenu. Eyes is his nickname. The tall, dark, and handsome. I forgot what his class thingy is. Slide. There we go. I'm super veteran of Blaze in the Dark. So yeah, excited to be here.
All right, thank you very much. Who wants to go next?
I'll go. I'm Hannah. My character, Miss Fritter, is a lunch lady. And she is here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And she is all out of bubblegum. She is a cutter. So she is going to be the meat grinder of the group, which works on multiple levels. And in general, we're just super excited to be here. And happy birthday, Duval.
Thank you.
All right, Shauna.
Hey, Shauna Flanksters, and I am playing E. Lark, aka Miss Corbin, Team Spider. So her job is to wheel and deal and hopefully help the party in that way. And I would also like to wish Duval happy birthday as well. Happy birthday.
Absolutely. And Saevrick.
Hi, I'm Josh. Tonight I will be playing... I cannot talk. Can we just start over? It'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Tonight I'll be playing Elias Darman, aka Preacher, who's a whisper. Gets to talk to spirits and demons and all that fun stuff, much like my real life. So, and I too will say, Duval! Happy birthday.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it.
No problem.
And so where we ended up last game was we started with a score in a pop-up art district in Night Market. The race had stolen something that they did not need to, that they should not have stolen, and our employers, our group, the Ash Syndicate's employer, asked them to get it back. That thing was a Leviathan ship docket, basically, which shows the location of the large Leviathans that the hunters go out and harvest to bring back electroplasm to run the city itself. So it is a high commodity. Our team infiltrated the party and basically set up a series of chain reactions where the lights were cut, the locks were unlocked on all 4 cases. There were 4 different cases of basically the main items. One was a very nice mask that we won't need to go into a description about what it is ever again. We probably will, but we don't need to. Then there was a vial of living electroplasm. There was a dagger, and there was the book itself. Through a nimble-handed switch of a fake book for the real book, our team started to get away, but only to find that a group of cultists had actually infiltrated the party as well, and were trying to summon something of some kind, a spirit, or who knows what happened. One spirit led to our whisper preacher opening the doors with some wind and casting and basically asking the other spirits to come in and feed, and they did in droves. They came and they came and they came, and basically made life very, very bad for a lot of the nobles and the people that were in there. And with that, we ran out the back, just like that. There was running out the back, skipping, hopping, and running out the back, and our crew got away. See, we're fully into character here on Saevrick's channel. Fully into character.
Fully.
Only the best for you all. So tonight we're going to go into some downtime actions. We're going to talk about XP. We're going to talk about the heat that our little crew acquire. We're going to talk about some things that they're going to be doing during their free time. This is going to be a time where we're going to build the characters up a little bit. We're going to build the world up a little bit and talk, and then make plans for what the next score was be. That way this is more action focused on the next one. But right now we got to take care of a lot of little things. And so we're going to start. XP wise, what we're going to do is go through and look at the crew mode on our sheets, talk about the XP that you all get as crew. And so if you'll go to crew mode, go down to the left, there's mark XP with crew advancement. So we kind of talk these through. That's why I didn't just dictate what you get. This is not that kind of game. We tend to talk through and agree on what is gotten. So once you're there, go down the bottom, mark XP. Basically, you get an XP. Did you execute a successful espionage, sabotage, or theft operation? Yes,
Hell
absolutely. Yeah. Did you contend with challenges above your current station? Yes, I believe so. Did you bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one? Do you all think that you developed a new reputation?
I don't think so.
It's not a good one.
Well,
I think we were all we didn't identify that we were all together, so I don't think there's
This is true.
any way anyone would know.
Right.
Yeah.
The Hive knows that we succeeded.
Right. The Hive knows, and there will be someone else that knows. Just trust me on that. No bad deed goes unseen, Perfect. I guess, here in Duskwall. So we'll leave that one out. So we got 2 out of 3. The last is express the goals, drives, inner conflict, and essential nature of the crew. This is a weird one. It tends to be, did you basically do what you are set out to do to me? And in this case, I would say that's a yes. Mm-hmm. So we're going to go 3 XP. We're going to mark XP, mark the flags. The first 3 should pop up red for you. I'm going to let you do your individual XP on your own. You can answer what you did, and that's not a big deal, or we could talk about it. We don't have to sit here and go through each one. But basically, for individual XP, you get it in 2 ways here in Blades in the Dark. If you rolled a desperate action, every time you roll a desperate action, you get a flag marker in that attribute. So if you roll a desperate action, say hunt, you get a flag in insight. If you roll it in finesse, prowl, skirmish, or wreck, you get it in prowess. Same thing with the tune, command, consort, and sway. So every time you roll one, just start marking those off every single time. Okay. For the other ones on the individual level, down at the lower left says Mark XP, Playbook Advancement. Each time that you do one of these things, every time you roll a desperate action, every time you address a challenge in some way that's key to your character, every time you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, and background, and every time you struggle with issues from your vice or traumas during a session, you can get 2 per number. So you could get up to 6. Early on, you probably don't know maybe some of your beliefs, drives, and heritage, but maybe you do, and that's fine too. I'm not going to tell you what you did. You get to choose that. So your choices when you mark those are either you can put those in the playbook advancement, or you can put them in the attributes up at the top right. Either way, playbook advancement gets you these other special abilities, basically. Whereas the attribute advancement, once you fill up a whole row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you get to put a pip, red dot, in anything underneath there. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, not a big deal. So that's on XP. That's something I always forget to do, so I want to make sure that we did that. So you all can mark your XP in after the game. It's not needed at this point in time. All right. So now we're gonna go through the actual downtime. The first thing is payoff. Is the crew earns 2 rep per score by default. So if we go to crew mode, the rep is how you're going to become a bigger gang. The more people know you, the more rep you get, the higher tier you get. So you gain 2 rep per score. You get +1 rep if the target was higher than you, and you get 1 for lower. Don't worry about that. So you're going to gain 3 rep because you get 2 automatically, and you don't win against the rates who are a higher tier than you. So under rep, just hit the first 3 flags. Everything else stays the same at this point. Coin. Did we say how much coin the Hive was paying you? Was it 4?
4.
Okay. So 4 coin. So you all can divide that up amongst any way you want. If you look on your crew mode, you can hold crew coin as well, or you can put it on you individually. Whatever you want to do. You all decide that. How would you split up coin?
So, because there was because it's a bit fuzzy because I gained coin and I gave away coin. And
if I remember correctly, there was 2 people that rolled to gain a coin. Was it Fritter and Duval and Eyes? You both gained a coin.
Yep.
Eyes, you lost your coin paying the barman, the door person to get you out. So Fritter would have 1 coin more. And so you could each just basically divide up the 4 and take it on your own, which I would say that's probably what you do at this point because you're not living together. You don't have a communal space.
Right.
So that's probably what your course of action is going to be. Also, like I told you earlier, anytime during the score you want to try to get coin, say, hey, I want to steal that. I want to do this. Let's make it as fun as possible. That's always good. All right. The really fun stuff. Time for heat. After a score conflict with an opponent, the crew takes heat. Add +1 heat for a high profile or well-connected target, +1 if the situation happened on hostile turf, and +2 if you killed someone. 0 heat is smooth and quiet, low exposure. 2 heat is contained, standard exposure. 4 heat is loud and chaotic, high exposure. I want to hear how you all think, what heat you all would have gotten from this, because although no one knew you from the start, they still now know you. What do you think?
I'm leaning towards 2.
Okay.
I think it's I don't think it was quite loud and explosive, but it was certainly eventful.
Yes,
eventful exit.
I mean, it's the heat of it's probably loud, but that's probably split between us and the Wraiths because that was their party.
That's fair. That's fair.
So yeah, I agree as well with that, with the 2.
All right, so we're gonna go with anybody. Hannah or Saevrick, what do you think? Any disagreement?
I don't have a disagreement on that part at all. I don't know about I don't know if maybe they actually perished from this. We had all those spirits and stuff that invaded. I essentially tased the entire party there, just so they could get feasted on before we got touched. So that might have been noticed. Just saying.
Yeah, that was definitely I
would agree. I think I'll split the difference with you. I would say that it's probably standard exposure, but I would like to add +1 heat for it because there was a bunch of high profile, well connected people there. Instead of going for
I
everyone,
like that.
we'll just
I
do
like that.
3.
Okay.
And what heat is how much the blue coats are trying to get, or basically your wanted level, or how much the blue coats are after you now. Again, the blue coats in the city are the police force.
I'm really good with 2. Maybe 2 is
you are?
fine.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll mark down 4 then.
Maybe we don't.
No. So 3. So the blue
Awesome.
coats are basically, you're now on their radar a little bit. You don't have a wanted level. No one's going to jail or anything, but that's what climbs as we go through this. And for every time you get a full row, you get a wanted level. And the one way you get that off of you is to either have someone go to jail within the crew or to pin it on someone else.
Nice.
So when the wanted level is there, anytime you see a blue coat, they'll try to come after you. Basically, they pass your picture around. Oh, this is them. So that's always a possibility.
It's fine. I think we've all played Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
I think we'll be okay.
Right. Yeah. It's totally fine. Totally fine.
We can blame someone if we really, really need to.
Yeah, you can't just switch
There's a rocket
carriages
launcher
in this
right
game.
over here.
You can't just switch carriages and get away scot-free though in this game. So that's just
Not that easy. Cool.
not that easy. So the next thing is entanglements. Basically, after the payoff, you roll dicey with your wanted level and read the results according to your heat. These are things that are happening within the city that you just can't help. Someone sees you. Someone takes notice of this. It says that basically if you have 0 wanted level, you don't have to roll. But again, we're a short time, so I think we're going to roll instead. Yes, go ahead, Sean.
Oh, no, I said yeah. No, that's good.
Yeah, so I want to roll, so we're going to roll.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to roll a D6 and see what we get.
What do we get? What do we get? Oh, no. Oh.
5 is Rivals or the Unquiet Dead.
Rivals, I mean, both seem pretty appropriate.
Rivals is a neutral faction throws their weight around. They threaten you, a friend or contact, or one of your vice purveyors. Forfeit 1 coin or 1 rep per tier, or stand up to them and lose a status with them. The other one is the Unquiet Dead. I can see this very much happening. A rogue spirit is drawn to you. Acquire the services of a whisper, or attempt to destroy it, or banish it, or deal with it.
I'm a whisper.
Yeah, exactly.
we stole some occult stuff. So.
Right. Yeah. Nothing bad could have happened to this. So either one. Either you can do the rival faction that's neutral for you right now, and they basically had something in on this, and we can figure out who that is, or we can do with the Unquiet Dead. That one of those spirits that you let in didn't seem to want to go back to the nobles. They instead followed you all around, and now have their tail, basically have you on their tail. I'll let you all decide on which one of those you want.
Ooh. Like I like the oh man, I'm actually really torn because I like the idea of like having like a big kind of status change like rivalry wise, but man, the spirit thing just fits more narratively. I think. I
think we could use the spirit thing to springboard a rival. Like,
that's true. It's probably what happened anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right, so we're going to go with the Unquiet Dead.
Yeah.
Okay, let me write that down. And then basically during some point in time, that will pop up.
What section of the sheet, or how should I label this in my notes? Just curious.
If you want to do entanglements.
And it's entanglement. That's
entanglement,
what the keyword was.
Unquiet Dead. All right. So I would say that Preacher, as you were the last one out of the room, you were the last one out of the building, and I imagine that probably you all split up almost immediately and kind of went your own way. Preacher, I want to say that you kept one last look back at the party. And as you did, you saw an incorporeal form kind of fade through the side of the window and stare at you longingly. Unsure what they want, but they definitely have marked you and your group.
When you say longingly, how do you mean by longingly?
We'll find out. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe they know you, maybe they don't know you. What things can my mind come up with?
I don't know. I got like, I want to devour you longingly, or like I'm in love with you longingly,
A
and
little bit of column A, a little
Yeah,
bit of column
could be
B.
both. I
Yeah,
mean,
look,
it's a ghost.
yeah,
It's a
exactly.
ghost.
You know, just
don't
want to show
encourage
you
him,
love.
guys. Come on.
Right, just want to show you a little love. All right, so that's entanglements, and then again, that could be anything that the gang troubles that will bring in all kinds of different stuff. We'll do that every time there's a score, and definitely we'll be bringing those things in more and more. So now let's go to the actual downtime section where you'll each get to pick a couple downtimes. We're going to go through and make some rolls and talk about how you want to spend your downtime. This is time when you're away from everyone. You're resting up before your next score. You're sleeping off the excitement, the adrenaline, and probably paying off some bills or who knows what you're doing. I think we should let the person's birthday. I'll give you the choice. Do you want to go first or last? You're muted. I take that as first.
I say he goes when he damn well
Yeah.
pleases.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
So what we'll do is we'll go through, each person will do one, then each person will do a second, and if you want to do a third and pay a coin, you can. That way we don't focus on anyone for too terribly long. So, Eyes, you skedaddle out of this room, leaving behind. You reach down, you have your hand in your pocket, and you feel along the grip of that dagger, and it feels really good in your hand. It's almost like it's made for you. But you know that you have to get out of here. Where do you go? Do you go to home? Do you go sleep it off somewhere? Where do you go from here?
So I have an absolute shit-eating grin on my face.
Okay.
And as I'm walking down what I assume to be a not so busy street, I'm probably the loudest person on the street, both in stature and in accoutrement, if you will. I have a tradition that that I go to my favorite watering hole first, and then actually a question for you, sir, would
Yes.
be around. We talked a little bit about restaurants, but I'm not sure of the I don't know if they've got Thai. Like I'm trying.
So I mean, absolutely, the world is what we want to make of it. So
Okay.
you're figuring when they have night market is a pretty busy area both day and night. So there's going to be nice places to sit down, restaurants. I imagine there's going to be a lot of places that you can eat outside. There's going to be some walk-up bars. I've even said there's like food carts, like food carriages that's up. But the food that you're eating is a lot of water-based, some eel, mushrooms, things like that can grow in the dark. There are fruits and vegetables to be had. They're just super expensive. There's noodles that you can make out of basically mushrooms and out of some leavened bread. So you tell me what you want.
Sure. Yeah. I'll go for some. My favorite eel.
Absolutely.
Like a little grill marks.
Okay.
And I'm actually as I'm walking down the street, I just kind of I'll whistle kind of like that, and out of the shadows comes this gray, scruffy kind of looking dog, and it kind of walks up, and I give it a kind of a scritch on the back, and it begins to kind of follow me. And I go to that restaurant for a little while. Then I'll actually head over to my favorite watering hole called the Two Cats. A bit of a very loud kind of cocktail lounge, and by loud I mean decor. And I'm actually looking for a small contact of mine by the name of Rigney.
Okay. And what does Rigney provide you? What does Rigney do for you?
Rigney's it's a little bit more informational, but Rigney's the owner of the Two Cats. He's kind of has this like long blonde ponytail, fairly well statured, a bit shorter than me. Scruff of about should have shaved 6 or 7 days ago, but fairly well dressed. And just kind of ask him around about how things are going, how's business, and if I can help in any way.
Yeah.
We go way back.
Oh yeah. So Rigby kind of recognizes that you're a little flush, maybe you're a little more of a smile than even normal, and basically makes a statement. I'm doing okay, not as good as you seem to be, but I'm doing okay.
You know me, man. I'm always good. It's I'm just particularly in much better today.
Yes. I fully understand.
But I had a question for you. I've been here a long time, and I've never came in on my birthday before. So I was curious, what can you get old eyes for his birthday?
Birthday? You see Rigney kind of steps back, looks at you for a few minutes and goes, drink or eat?
Yes.
All right this way. And then we'll say he basically seats you at a large table in the back, kind of like a chef's table almost, and goes back and orders stuff. And throughout the night, you start to get different cocktails, different amalgamations, even some that you think maybe be with spirits of some kind, some food, just all kinds of different stuff. And then the night ends up going for a while where it's constant food and drink.
Yeah. The dog's allowed in too.
Dogs allowed. Yeah, absolutely. For your birthday, dogs are allowed.
Of course.
So what are you doing for your first downtime action?
Let's see. So
we have for those playing the home game, we have the basic ones are acquire an asset where you're trying to find someone to help you with a service, usually work on a long-term project, recover, which is healing, reduce the heat, train, or indulge your vice. And then there's a couple others that we can talk about as well, which include indulge your hobby and gather information.
Gotcha. I'm going to probably indulge in my vice.
Okay.
Which, if I pull that back up, which is pleasure.
Okay.
Which I feel I'm pretty much laying it on thick right now.
Yeah.
So I would like to indulge into my vice.
All right. So mechanically, what happens? There is a button on your under character mode where you click indulge vice. It then automatically rolls on your least, your lowest attribute. So if you have an attribute, insight, prowess, or resolve that has only 1 pip or 0 pips, that's what it's going to roll. And you're going to take the highest number and reduce your stress by it.
Gotcha. So, because it says bonus dice 0, so and I got a few things that are 0 pips. Does it just pick on?
Right. If you bonus die, but for you, because
whoops.
Hold on, we'll let you re-roll that. You're actually going to get 1 bonus die because you're involving Rigney. Anytime during your downtime, you can involve either another character or someone from your sheet, or basically a named character, you get a +1 die. So how it rolled there, it rolled with 0 and basically rolled it at a disadvantage. So go ahead and roll it, hit indulge vice, and add 1 bonus die.
Got it.
So a 5. So what was your stress level? How many stress did you have?
A lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So you have 6. So now you mark down to 1.
Yeah.
So that reduces it by 5. Now,
nice.
Buyer beware. If you roll a number that's over, the highest number in the roll is over your stress level, you overindulge, and it could cause problems. So it can cause debt, it could cause pain or physical wounds, it could cause other connection issues. So just
Gotcha.
Letting you know.
Nope, that's good to know because Eyes is very much the type to overindulge.
So we will
the girls.
We will cut away from Eyes with food, drink, and much accompaniment. We'll leave it at that. All right.
That's good.
Who's next? Who next do we see that's fleeing from this scene?
Mine's probably very simple. You just want me to tell you what my first action is, or
Yeah. So where does
Um,
where does Preacher go as you're leaving? Where do
well,
you go?
my question is, I have quite a bit of stress,
Mhm.
but I also have an injury or a
Mhm.
harm. So, would it benefit me more to lower my stress or to remove the harm?
So let's talk both those through. So on you reduce your chef, you just saw how we indulge your vice.
Right.
If you indulge a hobby, it's a plain 3. It's an automatic -3. That's kind of a home written rule that I've come up with. It's going to be 3 over time every time you can't overindulge. The healing clock to heal in this game, you see on your character sheet you have a healing progress clock that's 4
Yes.
pips. You
Yes.
have to fill up all 4 of those pips. So when you roll, you basically use someone with a Physiker special ability, or you can find a Physiker in the world. We roll their tier, which is their number of dice, and then if you get 1 through 3, it's 1. 4 to 5 is 2. 6 is 3, and critical is a full clock.
Okay.
So you have to set up do a full clock to reduce one whole level. So once you do that, everything goes down a full level. So if you had a 3, it goes to 2, 2 to 1, 1 goes away. So I say all that to say when you roll this first time, you may not fully heal. So if you feel like you're higher in stress, it may be best to just straight reduce your stress.
Well, I have
Or
6 stress, so
or you can roll to heal and then use a coin to have it have a greater effect.
let me spend that coin. I don't want to spend that coin. I
Okay.
want to hoard that coin. I think with the stress I have 6, which is getting close to trauma, correct?
It is.
So,
Not was it 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10 is a trauma.
right. Yeah, let's indulge in my
Indulge your
vice.
vice. So what is Preacher's vice?
My vice is of course faith.
So what do we see Preacher doing to indulge this vice?
I suppose I'm going to go to Mother Naya, and we'll sit down and have a good read of the good book. Maybe lessen my stress about all these spirits that are currently around me, especially the one that seems to be having quite the interest in me right now. Sort of lower my concerns, as it currently feels like this thing might be hunting after me at this point, and her wisdom based on our current going-ons.
Okay.
So yeah, let's go to wherever she's at.
All right. Do you see her in one of the older parts of town? Do you see her in one of the newer where do you see her at?
I would say an older part.
Okay.
I don't see Preacher being the type to like go rub elbows with a bunch of the fancy folk.
Yeah.
More of the commoner at
Yeah.
this point.
Maybe she's in Six Towers, which used to be a really nice part of town, and now it's kind of gone derelict. It's a lot of old abandoned houses, and maybe she's been there for a long time and doesn't want to leave the people under her care, the people that she's looked at for year after year, even though they've all left her. And so you find her place in a run down, abandoned part of town. The paint's definitely peeling. The shutters are kind of half hanging on the wall. The sign has faded where what she was advertising, what she was doing, but she's still burning candles inside and praying for people and reading to others and trying to help as she can.
I don't know. I have this vision of her like being like, I don't say like dirty, but
Mm-hmm.
more of a working class, I guess I
Right.
want to say. Very down to earth type.
Someone who helps everyone around them, no matter what,
Right,
who gives of
right.
themselves and then thinks of themselves last,
Right.
who cooks for others and eats a poor meal for themselves. Absolutely.
Right.
All
Sort
right.
of the yin to my yang.
Yeah. So you go and have a conversation, and she asks you how things are going and what's going on, and you between the two of you have a conversation about um, what would have happened if the afterlife was still available, what will happen to you all as spirits, and you'll end up taking that de-stress time.
Okay.
All right, if you want to go ahead and indulge your vice and add a bonus die, let's see what you get. Is that a 5? That is a 5. So you reduce your stress by 5.
Nice.
Down to 1.
Wonderful.
All right. Hannah or Shauna, who's next? Who wants to go next?
I can go.
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
Where do we see Miss Fritter? Where do we see her heading to after the score?
Miss Fritter is going to head home.
Okay. What is home?
Home is a very modest, and modest is almost far too kind of a word for her domicile, which would be very low run, but well maintained.
Mm-hmm.
Apartment type of thing, I guess.
Absolutely. Yeah, probably maybe in Crowsfoot or Coleridge,
Sure.
working people all around her,
Yes.
people that she's grown up with and she has helped. She maybe even as she's walking through, she knows almost everyone by name,
Yes.
from the highest of the high to the lowest of the low, the street urchins and the gang leaders all in one. Absolutely.
Any food that she swiped from the event, she'll have in her pockets, and she gives to people as she passes them, and reminds so and so to take their medication. And if you need me to hem your pants, just drop by my house, kind of thing. When she gets back to her home, though, in order to reduce her stress, she is going to indulge in her hobby.
Okay. And what is that?
Which is, believe it or not, making more lunch lady outfits and to wear when she goes out, and of course doing her community service of making blankets for newborn babies and stuff like that.
So she likes to crochet and hem and sew.
We're definitely in our handcrafting kind of space, and
absolutely.
She's gonna shuffle around her house in her pajamas and bathrobe and do her crafting.
That's awesome. Awesome. All right. I would definitely say that there are a few things maybe that people might leave garments on the stairwell, asking you to, as you can, to do them. Maybe they're lined up and down the stairwell, so as you come in the door, you see where you're at. You take one at a time, hem it, and then add it to the bottom, and then just move everything up little bit by little bit. But just like mouths that need to be fed, there's always people that need to be sewn up. And garments and things like that. So absolutely, Miss Fritter's excellent with a patch or with a busted seam.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. All right, that's great. Last we have Miss Corbin. Miss Corbin, where do you go?
All right, first, I think as soon as we kind of do the split, her first things will be to get a carriage for her and her new friend.
Okay, absolutely.
And first of all, just make sure that they get back to where they're going safely. And then she'll ask the driver to take her to... She is going to indulge her vice, so she is going to the Vale, which is a social club and night market.
Okay. Your friend, before she leaves, she thanks you profusely for basically escorting her out. Tells you what pronouns does this person? I don't think we have actually established.
Yeah.
What pronouns would you like this person to go after? Go on.
She, her.
She, her? Okay, no problem. She tells you that her name is Malloy.
Okay.
And she runs out of Charter Hall. If you ever need anything to make sure and ask for, and basically gives you a business card of some kind.
Yes, well, we will trade business cards for her solicitor's office. So.
Okay, absolutely. And so you go to the Vale, you said?
Mm-hmm.
And what is the Vale? What is that? What's there?
It's a high-end social club based in night market. So it's for primarily the new merchant class. Not a lot of nobility, but pretty high up there. business people.
Absolutely, yeah. Lots of merchants, lots of people who are making their money. It tends to be probably a night market only kind of crowd, so everybody tends to know each other fairly well. And what is Miss Corbin doing there?
She's going to visit her friend, Roland,
Okay.
who owns this.
Roland owns the establishment?
Mhm.
Okay.
Doesn't come out much, but he's usually in the back rooms.
Yeah, I would say that maybe on site, the barkeep sees you and maybe presses a button and points in a direction in the back and lets you kind of walk back there. Do you grab something to drink or eat along the way?
Oh, no.
No?
No.
Okay.
He has stuff in his office that we can kind of have like little snacks and stuff.
Absolutely. So you're able to go back and see Roland. What are you discussing with Roland?
Despite like we both have like this air of propriety that, upstanding citizens and whatnot, but we go back further than anyone really knows. But I'll just talk about, you wouldn't guess who we've had on my latest job.
I think Roland takes a napkin, very politely dabs the corner of his mouth. Would you like me to guess? I really have no clue.
And we both like to get together and do like my vice is super, so we're when we have these conversations usually like with liberal amounts of dream powder.
Okay, absolutely. So yeah, the dream powder is either through your own eyelids or in the actual room itself. It's getting very hazy. There's a cloud of smoke and vapor in the air that you can see the spirits dancing around in almost. And basically, yeah, that's the conversation meanders. And in the bits of lucidity, this is what comes to form. He says, who have you gotten yourself mixed up with now?
Do you remember Miss Fritter?
The lunch lady?
Yes.
The lunch lady?
Yes.
What? What? He almost has no words.
Oh, she kind of moonlights in our circles, so it's very effective.
She does. I always wondered about her. The stories of her being too nice. There was something. She has something in her eyes. I don't know. I was always a bit afraid of her. I thought maybe it was just me, but I guess not.
Oh, she's as nice as she was always. She's just, how she was. Didn't seem to be afraid of anything. That's with good reason.
I see. Well, So I think the conversation passes. You basically take the evening to do this, and you're able to indulge your vice. What you actually get a bonus roll now, or a bonus die, excuse me. So roll it up. What is your current stress?
Is 7.
Oh, so you're gonna be okay no matter what.
Yeah. And it's the lowest of the 3 things, right?
It's the highest.
Or the highest.
Clear an amount of stress equal to the highest die result. If the result of your
Oh, no. I mean, like, of the...
I'm sorry. Yes.
Insight, prowess, and resolve. Okay.
My apologies.
So
if you just hit Indulge Vice, I think it does it automatically.
And there's a bonus?
Yes, you get a bonus.
Okay. All right. Where are you, Indulge Vice?
It's right under Vice Purveyor. It's a button.
There we go.
It's almost hidden just a little bit.
There we go. Yeah, it's like right there.
6. All right. And your stress seems to pass like smoke flittering out of the room. And when the smoke is finally cleared and the conversation's been had, you feel a weight being relieved from your soul and from your body, and you're able to walk out a little lighter.
Excellent.
All right. So now we're back to eyes. Eyes, you have indulged in your few days have passed. Probably you've indulged and maybe just now getting back to some normality. Depends on your age and how old you are. I won't begin to say anything. But we know that as you get older, it takes longer to recover, I guess. So what do we find eyes doing? Where are you at?
So if it's the morning, where he will be coming to after a couple days of absolute ridiculousness.
Mhm.
Bit hungover, but well earned. And he is uh, wakes up and he actually has a female companion. You know, you're not supposed to be here. Out. And she'll wordlessly get out as he rises. And as he kind of like rises up, it kind of chuckles. You're not supposed to be here at all. And the scruffy looking gray dog is at his bedside. All right, you can stay. And he'll make a little bit of breakfast. He lives actually upstairs in like a little bit of a studio above the eel restaurant.
Okay.
And let's see, what will he be doing today? He will actually probably make his way back down to Two Cats, just kind of check in before one other thing I wanted to do. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
He's actually going to actually before that. Sorry, he's actually going to go. He's going to try to reach out to Preacher. Actually,
Okay. So that leads us to the question: how do you all get in touch with each other? We've established that you have a lair in Six Towers. It's basements underneath a old abandoned Victorian style home. How do you get in touch with each other?
I have an idea that this is probably in some sort of like coded message.
Mhm.
That way, not kind of looks like it's jumbled up mess. I'm assuming there's some sort of courier. But the message itself says, before we all meet up, we need to talk about that night. Just us, and meet me at Two Cats.
Okay, Hannah, you were going to say, do you have an idea what you could do?
Easy. The children that I know in the neighborhood who will easily deliver messages all across the city for just a little
Pocket change, basically.
pocket change. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Is that
Okay.
me? That was me, I think. Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's okay. I think only you heard that, so it's okay. So, Preacher, you get a coded message, basically saying, "Hey, we need to talk. Can you meet me at Two Cats?"
Yeah, I'll head on down there. I could use a spot of bourbon as it is. It's been a hell of a last couple days. So we'll head on down to Two Cats.
Okay. And what do we find Eyes doing at Two Cats? Are you relaxing? What are you doing?
He is actually going to be kind of actually chilling off in preparation for this meeting. He'll just have a kind of small table to himself. The actual like Two Cats itself is it's like a very like, it's not a big bar. It's long. Like
Right.
they're like when you
Shotgun,
walk
yeah.
in, yeah, exactly. And there's kind of wells, right?
Mhm.
Large bar, and then sort of typically music and stuff in the background with a bunch of tables for privacy and things like that.
Okay. So, Preacher, you walk in, and maybe there's a drink actually waiting on the table for you, as everyone knows what your propensity is for that.
Absolutely.
And you walk forward, and you see Eyes sitting at a table, basically waiting for you.
Reach.
Well, looks like you've been having some fun in my absence.
Yeah, the eyes are kind of dim right now, but they'll get we'll be back in ship shape in a while.
I think you're still wearing some of the makeup. You might want to wipe your face off.
Yeah, it comes with the territory. That's all right.
I'll slowly sit down, push the chair back, that little creaking sound as it moves back, and sit down to my drink.
First things first. Cheers. It's a job well done.
And a belated birthday to you, my friend.
Yeah, appreciate that. So, quick business check-in. I don't think I've ever seen you freeze like that.
Freeze. I'm assuming you mean my little mishap with the mask.
Oh, I mean, that's the only time you've ever really fucked up.
I don't know if I'd go so far to say that I fucked up, but that's a little bit harsh, even coming from you, Eyes.
Oh, I mean, you know me, right for the jugular. And then, it's always ask for forgiveness, not permission. So, in all seriousness, I just wanted to check in, see where your head's at. And the cause of concern is really more of a selfish one on my part. You see, last time there was I'm lickety split, fast on my feet. That's why I'm around.
You're worried about me covering your ass, in other words.
I think it's a fair point to make. But yeah, just to be honest.
Straight
between us.
Jugular, indeed. Listen, there's a lot about my past that I'm not real familiar with. Things that transpired, things that still flow in my blood, things that still flow in my son's blood, to the point where it's taken the young man from me. Sort of take the drink and down it back at once, set it back down. Oh, this artifact, whatever it is, it gave me a little insight. You have to understand, I'm not a young man anymore, and my time left is pretty limited. Anything that can reveal some of this past, I need to get a hold of it now, especially given the line of work that we're in. So, as I do apologize sincerely for making you feel, well, whatever it is that you feel.
Well, I'd say I wouldn't go so far as to say uncomfortable. I just wanted to, call it out for what it was, and then we can keep on pushing. But something that I was not expected to hear was that you're a father.
Yes. Not something I generally like to share, but given our situation, I figure honesty is probably the best policy. Honesty between thieves or what have you nots.
I see. Well, you might be surprised to hear that you're not alone in that. I'd say, if we go one further, seems that we actually have a bit more acquaintance just based off of past than we originally considered. Because I also have had a son taken away from me.
Well, I don't want to be so forceful as to assume that our relationship's to the point where you can be open and honest with me about everything. So I will not pry into your past engagements. But I will leave it out on the table that if you wish to speak of it, I will hear it.
Fair, and maybe we could help each other in regards to our individual son's recovery.
I think that's a very, very fair and very ideal situation to be in.
I like me some ideals.
Has you ever been behind a big old stack of coin and had the perfect hand and the cards before you?
I ring out my cards. It's kind of in the game, man.
Well, that's just exactly what I saw in that mask. If that helps to equate it any to your understanding.
And then what would you call it? An analogy or metaphor? English wasn't really my street smarts is my game. So, but I think I pick up what you're putting down. If that's what you're trying to say.
So, I'm not sure how I can help you in your task, but let me indulge a little bit with this mask. Let me find out a little bit more about it. And I promise you, I'll try not to let you down again.
I appreciate that. Well, if it helps, it's really just the location that I need. The rest I can take care of. But if it helps you, things this is a mutually beneficial partnership from this perspective. Well, I'm all ears and as always, all eyes.
Let's make a toast on that. And here's to you, and here's to me. And if we ever disagree, well, fuck you. Here's to me.
Fuck you too.
I think that's where our scene ends. Preacher, where is the mask now? Do you have it in your possession?
I think Miss Fritter had it last. Did she?
Miss
not?
Fritter had it? Okay. All right. So, Eyes, what is your second downtime action going to be?
Oh boy, I don't know. I was just excited about that. I don't even need to do nothing more. We can close for the night. No, I'm just kidding.
If you want to just generally train, you can always train, which gives you a mark, basically a flag in whatever you want to train in, or a flag in your playbook advancement. Or you can gather information, which is something that's another kind of a homebrew thing that I put together.
Gotcha. Being that's on my mind, I'm going to attempt to gather information, actually.
Okay. And so what this will be is you tell me how you want to gather information. Usually, so for, again, everyone, gather information checks can be done at any time the cast would like to know more information. But their information is limited by what they roll. So if they roll poorly, they're not going to get very much information. My little homebrew spin is if someone wants to take up downtime during their free time to basically to talk with people, to study, to prowl about unseen and hear the secret goings on of the world, you can get you can get a number of questions answered whenever you want. So if you say that you want to gather information, we will choose what attribute you're going to use to gather that, and then accordingly that I'll give you a number of questions you can ask at any point in time in the score or in downtime or in gather information, and I'll give you the most information possible that I can for it. You can also cash one of those in to roll 1d6 and gain an item, whether it's money or a coin, coins, or basically someone tips you off that, hey, while you're there, this is more valuable and it's also there. Grab it too. So that's kind of in there as well. So how would Eyes gather information?
Typically, just from a context perspective, both. So actually forgot his name already, but because I have it written down anyway. Yep. Both him, Clyra, who I got some information from last time. And if I'm super desperate, the guy that I completely effed over, a gentleman by the name of Bro. But I'm trying to get the location of Darlene Noel, my ex-wife.
So you're not trying to gather general information. You want a very specific question answered.
Yep, a location.
All right. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to actually do what's called a long-term project. And this is where we're going to have something that you want a specific result from this. Yeah. So if in character mode, If you'll go down, scroll down to the right, you see where it says clocks. Along the right-hand side underneath.
Yep.
Let's start a 4-turn clock. And in the notes, put what do you want to call this? Maybe sun's location.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So let's do that. Sun's location. How would eyes be finding this information? Would you be talking? You mentioned a couple different people. What attribute do you want to use to do this? Is this are you talking with someone you know and you're consorting? Are you trying to basically bluff or disguise or go through deception, which is sway? Are you commanding someone to do it?
That's
Do
a
you
great
come in and
question.
busting heads? How do you want to approach this?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So she is known for throwing parties, and I'm going to pretend to try and book one.
Okay.
I do not want her or anyone to know it is me doing this. So yeah,
So we're going to
definitely
use sway. Sway.
Yeah.
All right. So let's use sway. Are you using any of your known associates? Are you using Rigney to probably maybe go intermediary on this, or are you using someone else?
Yeah. Considering we're there,
Right.
we'll
Okay.
we'll do that for
All right,
sure.
so you get a bonus die. So if we'll roll sway, you could just put risky standard. It doesn't really matter.
Okay.
That really won't matter in this, but you do
Okay.
get one bonus die.
Great.
Oh. I've not seen that before where we just rolled 3 ones.
That's appropriate. Because
so-
he's
I don't know. That's
long-term project.
long-term project. So your initial reach out, she's not going by the same name. This Darlene Noel, she's not using this
Doesn't
person
even
is not
exist.
using that name. So when you start reaching out to try to find her in the circles that we're running in, that name doesn't come up. So you know that you have to kind of go back to the drawing board. Okay.
Hey, that's information.
That's information. All right. So we're going to move to the next person. I believe that was Preacher.
Yes, sorry, I didn't mute myself.
No, you're good.
Well, I think I have to go see Miss Frida.
Okay.
She might be carrying something that I'm very interested in right now.
All right. Miss Fritter, do you take visitors?
Typically, no. Men are not invited into my home.
So I think long before you show up on the doorstep, Preacher, a young child has gone to maybe ring a bell for you, Miss Fritter, or do something in a code to know that you have someone down here waiting on you. But it's definitely in Preacher, you would not know unless you knew Miss Fritter. You would not know that this child is actually doing anything. Like they're pretty good at what they do. You just happen to know what Miss Fritter's all about and how her way with kids as far as getting them to do things, and she does things for them. So Miss Fritter, how do you get this? Is this a bell? Is this a note? What is this that comes your way that lets you know that Preacher is awaiting you?
I think that a child would effectively, I think ringing a bell is a great solution. And it's not that they like come up and ring my buzzer, but it's
Right.
like a sequence on the buzzer. Upon hearing that, I would merely just come downstairs and come outside, and I'll have a big like tin tray full of home baked sweets that are like of all kinds of varieties, cookies and brownies and maybe even donuts. I'm feeling kind of feisty. And I would give them to this little gaggle of children and make eye contact with Preacher and kind of direct him down the street to walk with me. And I assume that while we do this, there's going to probably be like a couple of like teenage boys kind of lingering behind us, slowly
Absolutely.
walking maybe a block behind us the whole time.
Yeah, absolutely. If you knew what you were looking for, you see that there you have an honor guard, so to speak, where you have a couple teenagers in the back, a couple teenagers around the front, just slowly walking through, making sure for one that the kids don't get out of hand, and that they know they can take one and they can move on and things like that, but also to keep lingering eyes and ears away from you all.
I go for my afternoon coffee around this time. Is there something that you need?
Uh, yes, actually, I do, and I do so apologize for interrupting your services to the community. You came into possession of something that interests me quite a lot. That mask.
Ah. Do you wish to obtain it prior to our meeting?
I it might be best if I spent some alone time with it outside of the group. Just just in case something might go awry.
Elias, I have known you. I'm gonna assume I've known you for probably a while. Like, I don't know if you and I are exactly new friends in this context. But I don't know. I don't think it matters. She's just gonna say, Elias, I've known you a while. I am concerned that if you do this by yourself and no one is there with you, that something will happen to you like it happened the other night.
And my concern is almost the opposite. That something might happen to me amongst all of you. And the last thing I want to be is some conduit for some demon or other greater creature to come through.
Do you think that you can handle this?
Honestly, I don't know. But I gotta find out.
I support you wanting to find out, and I don't disagree with that, but I'm concerned for your well-being. Would you be okay if you did this and we checked on you, maybe gave you some time, but one of us came to check on you shortly thereafter?
Hell, this is your neck of the woods, to so to speak here. If you have a good place you'd like me to lay low for a minute and do this, where you can easily come find me, I will, of course, defer to your wisdom.
Tell you what, Elias. Mr. Roundtree, who lives right below me, he had to leave suddenly in a bad case of lost his headitis, and he has an sorry, Duval, I can't with you, Duval. His apartment has been suddenly vacant. I've been watching it for him, paying his bills and making sure his daughter doesn't think anything is amiss. If you would like, you are more than happy to use Mr. Roundtree's apartment. I'd be happy to clean up any kind of mess. I did that before anyway. So you are more than welcome to use that.
You don't need the trouble about cleaning up any messes. That's not going to be necessary. I only
It can't be worse than Mr. Roundtree's mess. I'll tell you, that man didn't stop bleeding for a while. But I am more than happy to give you access to this. And then at least I know that you're nearby, you're safe, I can check on you. And if you need anything, then you don't have to be alone for an extended period of time.
I'll agree to this, but I do ask one final thing in return. If something should happen, I need you to find a young man for me. Goes by the name of Ezekiah.
Ezekiah. How old is Ezekiah?
Well, it's been some time. He's probably seen 19 summers now, if you can call these summers nowadays.
Do you have any idea about where he is?
I have no godly idea where he's at.
Do you know what name he might be going by because his parents burdened him with the name Hezekiah?
Sort of flush at that.
Not to insult you, preacher, but man, you really... Hezekiah is a doozy.
Well, my parents had a sense of humor as well, so
That's fair, Elias.
I'll be honest with you. I have no idea who or what he's going by at this current juncture. But at one time, his name was Hezekiah Darman.
Darman?
Dharman.
Well, Hezekiah, I will tell you what. I can tell this bothers you greatly. So I will see what I can find out for you. It is in my experience that no one stays hidden forever unless they're dead.
Well, Miss Fritta, if you're going to go on this quest at some point, of course, pending my imminent doom, I would suggest that you take that ladle because Hezekiah might not be what he once was.
Don't worry about me, Elias. I'll be fine. You just come back around when you're ready, and I'll have one of the boys let you into the apartment downstairs. I'll have everything ready for you.
All right, Miss Ma'am. Then I will do that.
All right. So you're going to be working on a long-term project, yes?
I am, yes.
All right. And that long-term project will be to study the mask?
It will be, yes.
Okay. So just like we did with eyes, if you'll go under clocks, start a clock name. I think this is going to be a 6. This is going to be a little more complex.
Okay.
So we're gonna do a 6-turn clock, and you can name it "The Mysteries of the Mask," something like that.
Beautiful.
And we'll get together after this to talk about exactly what you want to do. So sure. What attribute are you going to use to study this mask at first?
I think first it had some sort of draw upon me, so maybe if I try to attune myself to it, let my spirit and my soul be a little bit more open to whatever it has to offer me.
Mm-hmm. So you eventually you talk with Miss Fritter. You get let into the apartment, and the mask is probably sitting on the table in a bag in a container, not just sitting out. You immediately know where it is and what's going on, and as you start to attune to it, you know that the last thing you need to do at this point is to actually put it on. That you need to gain much more knowledge before you put it on your face. So what does this look like as preacher is attuning to the mask?
I'd say he would probably enter this room that's probably dark, and like she said, it's probably just covered in crimson. This vital fluids have been spilled here. Preacher would go in, reach in and remove the revolver from his side here, set it on the table, and begin to take his shirt off. And just his back is just laced with just tattoos and like deep scars all over him. And sort of sit down with this mask, just resting in his hands, looking at it, peering into its sightless eyes. I don't know what you are, who you are, but you have such wonderful secrets to show me. And I am yours to take for those secrets.
All right, let's make a roll and see what you get.
Okay, this is my attune.
Mm-hmm.
And, okay, position.
It's going to be risky and standard, but it won't really matter. Basically, we're going to use the results as how many blocks you're taking up in your clock.
Oh, please, no ones.
A 2.
Twos, that's so much better.
I took care of the ones.
Yeah,
Appreciate that.
So if we're here in 4 or 5 more rolls, we're going to have to get some successes.
Yeah.
I think you become lost in what the mask could be, and you're not able to really understand what the mask is. It becomes a lot more of all the problems, that it becomes the answer to all the problems in your mind without knowing that's what it is. So both you and Eyes will need to, you can fill in 1 tick of your clock. I forgot to tell you that, Eyes, my apologies. Fill in 1 tick of your clock, and your long-term project is well on the way. So after this game, in between, we'll talk about and make sure you get exactly what you want out of both these long-term clocks and go forward. All right.
Because I was totally cool with three ones being a 0. So
No.
I'll take it.
So imagine
you gotta
like
get something.
Preacher's just like down there, like staring at this thing and heavily breathing, and sweat dripping and rolling from him, like collecting in a puddle all around him. He's like that engrossed in that, enraptured with it. Even if it's nothing at this point, he feels that it's the key to everything he's searching for.
Does Miss Fritter find you like this?
I think it'd be interesting if she did.
Okay. So, Miss Fritter, what is your second downtime action?
My long-term project is finding Hezekiah. Or my actual long-term project, I guess.
Okay. So, once again, we're going to start a clock. We're going to be 4 turns on this one. And how are you going to do to start to set up to find Hezekiah?
First, I'm going to go through school records to see if I can find his transcripts to see where he may have ended up. He just recently would have graduated theoretically if he stayed in. So I'll start by following the trail.
So I think as you know that there's basically the records collections in Charter Hall. As you go to make your way down there, you happen to remember, Preacher. I wonder if Preacher's done using this room or not, Mr. Roundtree's room, and maybe you peek your head in there. Yes? No?
Yes. So soon as she knows that he's there, she will be regularly keeping eyes on him. What he doesn't know is that she's got eyes in the apartment. And that's how she discovered that Mr. Roundtree needed to go. And so she's going to be monitoring him very closely to make sure that he seems stable and not possessed would be a good word.
I think there are definitely moments where you're concerned, and then just like that, he kind of snaps out of it and returns to his normal self a little bit. But Preacher is spending a lot of time here and putting a lot of quote unquote blood, sweat, and tears into this. So at times where you do not think that he is there or should be there, he is there. All right.
Yeah. She'll go in and like physically check on him, drape cold towels across him and things like that. And every time she knows he's gone, she'll clean. Honestly, I think Fritter starts talking to the mask at a certain point, threatening it not to hurt him.
Okay.
And to stay in line. But she's going to let him do his little thing there.
All right, so you make your way down to Charter Hall, which is the business center, also the school center, things like that. And the older part of town is one of the original parts of Duskfall. And you are able to start going through some records and do some tracing, not understanding where he might be now. And it's still going to be a little bit, but what attribute are you going to use to roll?
So I was just thinking about that.
Do you know someone there? Do you know someone that works in Charter Hall?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
For sure. I definitely know former clerks that have been in the school system that may have now migrated over to just records in general, that I could easily sway
Okay, yeah, I think that works well. Yeah, you're not actually asking them. You're asking about, hey, what if a child was not
Yeah.
in the normal system that came in and came out? Where would I start to look? Let's
Yeah.
pin down what we're looking for and kind of, am I looking for missing persons? What are we doing with this?
Well, I think it's also very in line with her in general that she would be
Right.
hunting down missing children. So
Yeah, I don't think this is not unusual for
yes,
you.
correct.
I think they may even comment, oh, another lost case to be found, something like
Yeah.
that. So this is not something you wouldn't normally do. All right, so go ahead and roll your sway.
So would I go under? Is it controlled?
That's fine. Yeah, controlled and standard's fine.
And do I use a bonus die?
You get a bonus die. Yeah,
Sweet.
you're fine. A 5. Okay, so that's going to be 2 clicks. So I think what is there's a child that matches his description that was noted in one of the local charter schools, having great aptitude for the spiritual type arts, or the was noted to be gifted in basically attuning and power far beyond what a child should have a couple years ago. And so they have some information about what he was and keeping records, kind of high IQ, high aptitude, and then they went missing. It's like one day they basically find a paragraph that one day he was in his room studying supposedly, and the quartermaster came to see him, and he was gone, and it's not been seen. That's probably been in the last 6 months, maybe.
So do we know do I have any like leads as far as last known address type thing?
Yeah, let's come up with that in between this session and the next. What you want to do, how you want to do that, and just generally talk about what avenue you want to go down. But I think there's definitely a lead to push forward.
Cool.
He tells you, for school wise, no, we don't have anything, but you might want to check with, basically maybe gives you the name of the quartermaster to go and talk to see if you can gather up any more information. That's your next best lead.
Got it.
Okay. Miss Corbin, where do we find you? Oh, hold on, I can't hear you. But it doesn't seem like you're muted.
There we go.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
There we go. Miss Corbin's taking a little bit of trip to the hound races in Night
Ooh.
Market.
Night Market, Vrin's hound races.
Mm-hmm.
Vrin, a gentleman named by the name of Vrin, came from Aruvia and brought with him lots of money. Has gotten a large amount of donors here, and has built a hound racing track. Picture it greyhounds, but maybe bigger. I always picture them bigger, like Irish wolfhounds instead. So great big tall beasts that lumber around this track, and it is all the new. It's the newest and the best thing within Night Market. It's only open the past few weeks even, and it's been sold out. This is the place everyone wants to be, and Miss Corbin is there. What are you doing when you're there?
She's not here for the hound. She's here to do a little bit of headhunting.
Okay, what does that include?
That includes how she's used to. This is how she got her education, was kind of taking advantage of the rich students at the university and how they spend mommy and daddy's money.
Mm-hmm. And there are plenty of those. This is definitely the newest thing. This is the newest Friday, Saturday night hotspot. And lots of kids from Charter Hall who are out on the weekend have come down, spending their money freely, betting and buying drinks and eats and all kinds of things.
So she makes nice with a couple of the bookies,
mm-hmm.
Gets information on if there's any medical students that have gotten in over their heads.
Oh. Okay. So mechanically, what are you looking to do?
I want to acquire an asset. I want to acquire a physiker.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. That sounds awesome. So let's roll and see what you find out. I think that there definitely are some. As you talk to your bookies, one of them holds up their hand actually, and says, "Yeah, this kid that came in last week, I busted my hand up at work. I couldn't do anything about it. He said he'd split me up for for pretty cheap. And I was like, well, okay. And then I felt really bad for them because later on they lost their shirt almost on the hounds. I don't know if it was just a bad night for them or what, but I can give you their name and number, name and address. So let's see. Basically, when you acquire an asset, you are rolling your tier
Hmm.
and or your group's tier, and it varies off that. We're a tier
Oh,
0.
can this be a long-term process?
So if you want,
Hmm.
how I've done in the past is if you want to acquire the asset, it could be for this time temporary and
Okay.
basically to a long-term
Oh yeah,
process
try run.
to instill them into your group. So yeah, I think that's
We'll
fine.
dry run this.
All right. So what would you basically meet with this person? What or are you do you want to roll to find them or do you want to roll to meet with them? How do you want to what attribute basically do you want to use?
To meet with them.
Okay.
Set up a meeting between me and this unfortunate.
I think maybe they're still there at the track. They haven't even left yet. There's a shop where the student is drinking the last few pennies that they have away after they've lost everything, and the bookie kind of points in your direction over. You see the camera target all the way across Friends, through all the crowds and through all the people, and silhouettes on this person's face. What are we looking at? Who are we
Oh.
looking at?
I would say a young man put together. Obviously, like hasn't done a lot of like he has that look of being, I'd say, upper class. What's his like? He doesn't necessarily look as comfortable here. He's trying to blend in, but he's not doing a good job. He's not. Everyone can probably see him as just like this young man that is just trying to like get some thrills, and this is probably what got him in trouble in the first place down here.
Absolutely. His name is Sturgill. Sturgill.
Mhm.
And I'll keep a track of that. Okay, so your eyes light on Sturgill, and you maybe walk up to the bar, and he has got his face down in the cheapest drink that the bar will allow him to have and nurse on, and is kind of quietly mumbling to himself. And you hear, "Woe is me, and misfortune upon my house," and certain things. What are my parents going to say? That kind of stuff.
Mr. Hill, is it? I
And he kind of looks over. I'm sorry, what?
Oh, good. Mr. Hill, your professor, I spoke to professors, and they recommended me because I have special need. As you know, I'm a advising solicitor, and I am in dire need of someone of medical expertise.
You need someone in medical, and you came to me?
You're highly recommended by your professors. I came to them to see if there's any that would want on-the-job experience.
You see, he kind of sits up a little straighter, cracks his back a little bit, and kind of maybe pushes the drink to the side. Well, I'm top in my class. Yeah, I mean, I've done really well. I mean, the professors tell me that. What is it that you need?
I need you to we need matters of the body that only someone of your education can give. I need the good information, and I don't have the time to go through finding a doctor and going through the paperwork. I need someone that I on my beck and call, that I can advise any important night to take care of things, to gather information, so I can do the work for them, because time is of the essence in my work. If my advisoring position if I don't give them information at the right time, then my job is useless. So having someone.
Yeah, that makes sense. So let's do a roll here and see what we get.
Mm-hmm. This is 2, and since we're tier 0, it's 2.
Yes.
Okay. All right, come on.
So if you get, basically if you, let's see what you get. We'll go from there.
me just check something right on the sheet.
And you
Long-term
can gain a bonus die as well for using someone else for
Okay.
bookies.
Okay, so that just. You know what? I'm going to swing the deal a little bit. I'm gonna get a I'm gonna raise. Is it only two? It's two. It's two coin, or is it only one coin?
To raise the effect.
Yeah, it's two
One
coin.
coin.
One coin.
I
Yes.
say it's one. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to say that I can put money up front.
Okay.
This
You see
is not an internship. This is a paid experience.
His eyes light up very, very greedily toward the gold.
I'll give him
Toward the coin.
just enough so that his legs aren't broken
Yeah.
when he misses and pays.
All right. So go ahead and this will have a greater effect. So roll whatever you have. Is it sway that you're using?
It is. Yeah. It's
or consort.
Consort.
Okay. So roll your consort with a bonus die, and then we'll get a greater effect. You get the effect of one level higher. If you roll 1 through 3, you get the tier -1, which is not anything because you're tier 0. If you get a 4 or 5, which is your tier, actually, hold on. If you get 1 through 3, it'll be your tier. If you get a 4 or 5, it'll be 1 tier above you. And if you get a 6, it will be 2 tiers above you.
Okay.
You went for higher effect.
Yes. Okay.
And basically what that means for everybody is when this person rolls their physical dice, that's how many die they're going to roll for your healing rolls.
How good is this kid?
Let's find out.
Oh, sorry, that was 5.
All right, a 5. So what we say that a 5 is fine. So it's be 1 tier. So he's tier 1. So he basically, what I say is anytime he wants to treat your wounds, if you want this person to treat your wounds, the next time you need to be treated, he can treat them. If you have a level 1 harm, he can automatically treat them because that's what his level is. He can automatically treat that. If you want him to treat above that, that's where you're going to need to roll or pay coin.
Okay.
So far you have him basically for one time. The next time you need healing, and that can even be in a score, I say. The way you've set this up is if you want him to be at a score somewhere, you can make it happen to where he would be there and help you heal right then. I think that's fair. And then if you want to set up a long-term project to basically make him a permanent asset where you can get him anytime you want, then we can do that as well.
Excellent.
All right. So does anyone want to do a third downtime action?
I do.
You do? Okay. What would you like to do?
So, I would like to. I'm actually considering I've gotten nowhere closer other than that name is burned. I'm going to very angrily train.
Okay. All right. That's fine. And what are you going to train in?
I am going to. Let's see. What do I want to do?
So,
I'm training finesse. I'd like to do that.
If you look under crew mode, under training, if you train in a prowess attribute, you get 2 flags.
Okay.
And prowess is dadgummit. Prowess is finesse, prowl, skirmish, or wreck. So that's, you said you wanted to kind of do prowess?
Yep, and I think we already, and because we have that selected, I gain 2 XP when I train in prowess during downtime.
All right. So mark 2 flags down, and that's the XP you gain for training.
Awesome.
Right. Anyone else?
Can just really quickly, sorry, just because I'm a super nerd. Like just from a narrative perspective, I'm like whistling the Mission Impossible theme as I'm just like dun 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 dun, just dun 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 dun. Okay, sorry, that's it.
Absolutely. All right. So any other downtime actions?
Yes.
Okay.
Where would I find? It's maybe like a few days. Where would I find Preacher?
Preacher, maybe. I mean, from what I'm hearing, I'm assuming you're spending a lot of time in Mr. Roundtree's apartment, but there has to be breaks. I think Fritter makes you take breaks. I think at some point in time she tells you don't come back for 2 hours, don't come back for 4 hours. She almost, to me, again, never want to tell you what you're doing. I can see her basically giving you a schedule and allowing you when to get in. You don't have a key to this place. She allows you to get in. Is
That
that,
seems
Miss
fair.
Fritter, am I overstepping? No? Okay. So, Preacher, where would you be found on one of your walks, maybe?
I don't know if he would just like wander per se. He would probably find the nearest water hole.
Okay.
And not even saying he's getting drunk, but he's probably like so exhausted he probably just feels comfort in holding it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and maybe having that cigar, the smoke, the scents, the noise around him might bring his senses out a little bit more.
Okay. So, Mrs. Corbin, you're able to find Preacher at one of the open air bars there in Crow's Foot. He's not too far from where Miss Fritter lives, but he's at one of the open air bars, just kind of sitting at a table, having a smoke with the drink in front of him, just taking it all in.
So she will saddle up to the bar and order a one of the fungus wines.
Okay. We're in Crow's Foot, so it's a pretty poor place. The fungus wine's not very good.
Oh, it's
but
strong though.
It's strong. It's super strong.
Oh, she's used to this.
Okay.
Oh, Preacher.
Miss Corbin.
Oh, word's gone around that you've been spending quality time with some of our acquisitions lately.
Quality time. That would be a correct assertion.
Now, which one is it? Is it the mask? Is it
Yeah,
the covering, or was it the weapon?
just a mask. Me and party favors.
Well, quite the. It's quite unsettling. See, people didn't look at it correctly at the auction, but you seem to be quite taken with it.
Are you here to discuss my inadequacies as a member of this group as well, or?
Oh, you've been talking to eyes, have you?
That too
No.
would be correct.
I've come. This might lift your spirits in a certain way, but I've made arrangements that, as much as I would want to sell the object, it might be useful. I don't take to all this spirit business as spiritual in a sense. I see this as assets that we can use. And helping you with this would help us.
I wholeheartedly agree with that statement.
Yes. And spirit wardens keep tight lock on anything that is heretical. But Charter Hall does have a small collection of they don't like to say forbidden manuscripts, but it is what it is. And you might like some of what is down there. If I could get you in there, you would have to dress up nicely, clean up a bit, but
I take some offense to that.
well, it's Charter Hall. It's not like around here.
Anything that would at least shed some light on this thing, I can't seem to break through.
And then she hands you a business card with a place and a time. So make sure you make enough time for this. This is a small window of time. You'll have it to yourself. I suggest you make the most of it.
Is this really genuine?
What?
I don't want to say it's concern. I know you're slightly better than that, but is your intentions really to try to help me, or is it just to help yourself?
helping you helps me. If one of us were to go have something happen, like what happened at the party, it doesn't do well. And you're a very valuable member of our group, so you're happy and have the right knowledge and equipment, then we're all happy.
Well, I would be happy to take you up on your offer, and hope I'm not dancing with the Holy Spirit again after this.
Oh, we all dance with the spirits, vices.
This
Oh,
one just
no
happens
devils.
to have a few horns and some jagged teeth.
Well,
Nothing-
hopefully it's not literally, because
Well,
I've seen what they've done.
It's literally and figuratively. Of course, it's no different than any other sort of wraith scum or any other dealings we've had. They're all monsters that just wear different clothes.
But you have a talent for talking with those monsters, so I'll leave you to it.
And you have a talent for talking to this one.
Devil talk with the devil, then.
And Miss Coleman.
All right, and what is this
Thank you.
I
mechanically?
am giving Preacher another chance at the long-term
The long-term project?
project.
And you have that as a special ability, correct?
Mhm.
Okay, so every downtime, Ms. Corbin can give someone else another downtime action for free. And so, Preacher, you make your way, hopefully dressed up a little nicer, as to not put shame to Ms. Corbin's name. Dressed up a little nicer and maybe a little more sleep. And you find your way down to Charter Hall, and I think this is kind of one of those no names type deal. Is you're met at the door by an older man who very professor like, who kind of looks you up and down and goes, "Preacher, I presume."
You presume correctly.
The card, please. Okay. Takes the card, slips it in his coat. Follow me. Please do not say anything. You will have a limited time to study these wonders, and then I will escort you out. Is that amenable?
Tip my hat.
Okay. All right. So you're basically going to get into basically one of the maybe a downstairs. It's kind of like basement of the basement of the basement. Go through several different places that you shouldn't be. Lock and key in several different locations. Maybe some passwords and codes and things to get back to this dusty, dry archive room. You've never, how they keep all the water and precipitation and all that kind of stuff out. You don't know, but there are books and manuals and things on the shelf. Sight unseen, you probably wouldn't have known about before. There are definitely books on every different kind of subject known that you could find, and some actual artifacts that you can look at and study a little bit more. What would you like to do when you're here in order to get another peg on your clock?
I would think the only artifact that Preacher really cares about right now is the mask, as enticing as these other things might be. So researching would probably be his first and foremost thing. Either about the mask itself or Satara.
Okay. So are you going to use study or survey?
Oh, probably both equally as terrible for me. Yeah, they both are equally as terribly for me.
And I would suggest study.
Yeah, we'll go with study then.
Okay. So it doesn't look like, on first hand, there doesn't look like too much to be said about demons, and maybe these are just about the artifacts as well. But I think you find a chapter in a book at some point that may provide a little more insight. Let's roll.
Can you push these rolls and stuff?
Yeah, if you're willing to take stress, I'm willing to give it to you.
Yeah, hell, Miss Corbin gave me this extra opportunity. The least I can do is try to take advantage of it.
Okay, sounds great.
So we'll push that study.
Mm-hmm. So you get a bonus die.
Yeah.
Take 2 stress.
Got it. Standard risky.
I really like the ability to give someone an extra downtime action. That's awesome.
That is awesome.
A
Heck yeah.
5. So a 5 is going to be 2 of the pie pieces.
Excellent.
So that leaves you to what, 3 out of 8?
3 out of 6.
3 out of 6. Okay. So this book has some information about Satara, and we can talk about what that might be. Names her specifically and deals and things like that with her, and what people may have done or how may they have gotten in trouble, and definitely gives you some guidance. It also mentions the name of a forgotten god called the Father of the Abyss, that was the god of the underworld before that underworld was locked in the war. This was a god that was feared and dread, and has been forgotten, long since forgotten, but may still hold some power over items such as this.
Slowly close that book up.
Okay.
Thank you, Miss Corbin.
And at the allotted time, the man comes back in and opens the door and says, "I believe it's time for you to leave."
Won't say a word, just button my vest back up, make myself presentable as I walk back up through.
Okay. All right. So that closes downtime. We'll go into free play real quick and talk about what we're going to do for next time so that everyone's ready for our next score. Does anyone have an idea for a score? Anything that you'd like to do? If you do not, I have one, but I want to open it up to you all as well, in case what kind of trouble you would like to get into.
I'm interested in what you have as like an idea. And I don't know if that's just because I'm not sure about the advancement of the Wraiths and the Hive and like exactly what we theoretically should do next. So I appreciate the direction, but
good.
if anybody
Yep.
else has a plan.
So what I'll try to do is I'll always try to have something. If you all say I want to do this instead, you're always want to, but don't think, oh my gosh, if I don't have something, we're not going to do anything. I'll have something. So, all right. So I think what happens is a few days go by and you get a notice that some information that basically you're needed for a job. How does this happen? Do the kids? How are you all approached as the Ash Syndicate?
Kind of love the fact that the lunch lady is Varys from Game of Thrones, so I'm 150% for that.
No. Under no circumstances am I the spider. I don't think so. Not happening. No. That guy was a creep.
Oh, I mean specifically
and he
just the
died
information.
Stupidly. So, yeah. No.
I will awkward sea turtle back into the beach.
All right. So do you think that this person would they go to Miss Corbin? I mean, Miss Fritter, Miss Corbin. Who would they reach out to? These.
I think that entirely depends on what organization they represent.
They represent the Lamp Blacks and Bazo Baz, who's the leader of the Lamp Blacks.
I mean, the option's always there for someone to drop a letter to Miss Corbin's solicitor's office.
Okay.
That's an option, just in general.
I like it.
I think that's how it comes through. I think that there's a telegram asking to see you about a role that they need fulfilled, and to solicit an item. They use the code words that you all understand, and basically what you come to find out is, as you all meet back in your lair, at some point in time, you make a plan. You take the walk from wherever you stay now into Six Towers, into the old Victorian home that your lair now lies underneath. Maybe you walk through the hearth fireplace in order to get down into the basement, and you meet on candlelight and start your plotting and planning. That will be for next time. The letter states that Vryn of Vryn's Racehound track has taken a rather large debt that he refuses to pay off. Baz Baz is the leader of the Lamp Blacks and took and invested heavily into Vryn's racetrack and has not gotten his return. Bazo usually is a leg breaker, and that's usually how he goes about doing business. But first, he would like to see if he can get this done a more amenable way. He wants Vryn he wants someone to see Vryn to ask about the debt, and if Vryn will not pay the debt, to take something of equitable value to make sure that his expenses were covered. He says in order to do this, he tells you the amount that he needs for the coin. He says in order to do this, he would give you 6 coin because he realizes it may take a little bit. Is that something you all be interested in?
Eyes is
Yes.
150,000% interested.
Yes.
Okay.
So ready. Break
All
his
right.
legs with a ladle. We're gonna do it.
Oh my
So
God, I
where we
already
will
see
start,
it.
where we will start next time is this. I think also, you're plotting and planning into the night, and I don't want to forget this part. But in Duskwall, everyone has their day, whether it's their day of birth, whether it's the day that they have a chosen name, the day that they have chosen as the scoundrel, the life. It's a day that they celebrate. You choose when that day is, and for today, it is Eyes' day. And I think everyone recognized that as they came into the lair. What is different about the lair today? Because it's Eyes' date of birth. What's different? Is there a party atmosphere? Is there a special drink, a food, a flower, or what?
I got there early, so there are streamers and punch and lemon bars.
All right, streamers and punch and lemon bars. All right, what else? What else is there?
I was thinking like a nice felt sheet over the table and maybe some sort of gambling games going on. Maybe some associates, at least near us from, I keep forgetting who we're under.
The Hive?
The Hive.
Okay.
People who have lots of money to lose to old Eyes.
Okay. Anything else there?
Some good catered food
Absolutely.
was brought down here.
Yeah, maybe some special eel noodles that you know that Eyes enjoys. There's definitely some different types of food that he would enjoy.
I am verklempt.
We want to make sure we know that it is special both for you out of character as a happy birthday and in
Thanks,
character as well.
guys. Like
Eyes, as we go and give you our gifts, because I'm sure we all have gifts for you, I give you a card, and when you open it, there's just a room key in there. And I just say, I have 3 lovely ladies here for you. Have a wonderful birthday. And I like pinch your cheeks.
Oh, honey. you know just how to butter my bread. And he's like spinning into the room. Like he's just so excited. He's like a golden retriever. Like he's so excited. As one would be at 36 years old.
I think if Preacher can get you before you start going into this lust-filled rage here, he would have just a small box with a simple ribbon on it, and sort of hand it out to you. It ain't much, but we're just starting, so expect the next one to be a little bit nicer.
A little taller.
A little taller, a little wider, a little heavier.
A little wider.
And
Would it be too...
Go ahead,
okay, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, would it be a bit too petty if I kept the bottle and just kind of put it out there just as a fun reminder between you and I, you know? We've got goals.
Sounds good to me. Maybe we can drink it when we come to our mutual closures.
Deal.
and he'll deposit a couple dice in your hand, and they're made from Leviathan bone, and the ink on them is actually like a mixture of like their blood and some dyes. It said, there are rules to luck. Not everything is chance to the wise. Luck can be helped by a little bit of skill. And maybe a little bit of weight. If you catch my drift.
Oh, I very, very much do. Much appreciated, sir.
Take it to them sons of bitches and line your pockets tonight before you go enjoy yourself, son.
Oh, of course. Step one.
All right. And go ahead.
Miss Corbin walks up to Eyes. It's like, I'm a bit of a sentimentalist. Everyone deserves to have their day as nice as possible. And she'll hand you a envelope. And inside is a high roller suite for the Silver Swan pleasure barge. Yes, it's nice. And have fun and have access, rub elbows with the nobility and the upper crust. Trust you can make some use of that. Business and pleasure in one thing. It's always
indeed.
good.
A little slash trip, as they say.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
As always, mutual, amazing amounts of respect for your incredible talent.
That's yours. We would not be able to do that job without you last time, or any other jobs we've done. So.
Just set the table, But of course, I have a big ego, so I take all the credit. But you get the idea.
Of course.
All right. So I think planning time passes where you all are planning what is going to happen. You have the outline of Vryn's racetrack. You know where everything is. You step through how it's gonna function, how it's gonna work. And when we pick up next time, we will be walking into Vryn's racetrack on race night to see what Vryn has to offer.
Can we change downtime to hype time, please? Because that was so fucking hype. Are you kidding me?
Downtime is so fun. I love that.
Oh my god! Like I literally have like goosebumps. I'm not gonna be able to sleep.
I've tried to do downtime. I tried to do downtime at the end of some scores, but it always felt rushed. I didn't like it, and I knew with you all your ability to RP and your ability to make those connections that I've gotten a bunch of notes, and I'll have to re-watch this to see all the little things that I guarantee that I missed. But just after one down, how much you all are entrenching yourselves in the world, and that is an awesome thing. So, thank you all.
I'm so excited! So excited! It's so cool.
So I've been Nathan. Been kind of your GM this time. I didn't do too much, and that's okay with me.
Awesome.
My players were even more amazing than what they could possibly be. I'm just getting out of their way and writing down ways to torture them in the future. But you can find me at Nate on Twitter, a bunch of Discord servers, things like that. So reach out and tell me what you think. If you have ideas of things that you would like to see, things you picture in the world, things you want to happen maybe to the characters, or ideas of things that could happen, shoot me a note. Let's talk. So, and again, thank you for joining us and hanging out with us. But who's next?
Before anybody else jumps in,
got
the giveaway going on right now.
Yeah.
Just enter the keyword Duval, and then you can be entered in for a drawing for that book. I'll go ahead and do that before we end stream. So I'll let all these lovely people talk about themselves, and then we'll do it. So
okay, sounds good.
Duval, you go.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. All right, sounds good. Thanks. Hi, everyone. Duval King Jacob here. Kind of emotional because this is just, that was a really cool gift at the end. I was not ready for that. So you can typically find me as the host and dungeon master of a little show called Duval and Dragons on twitch.tv/SoMetaGames. It's every other Sunday, this Sunday. So at the end of this ridiculously awesome week. So check that out, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. And typically on Tuesdays, you can find me on twitch.tv/threadraders in Geek Attack. It's a D&D 5e game that starts at like 9:30 Eastern. So check that out. And also, this freaking Saturday, you can check out episode 2 of Icewind Dale because it's going to get even more ridiculous. Hannah knows because she wrote some of this stuff, and her awesome partner in crime, that's probably off screen somewhere, is the one running us through this absolute horrific, awful, crazy, beautifully amazing situation. So check that out too. I think that's it for now. Love you so much. Thanks for being here. And I'll just say, because it's my birthday still, and I can probably get away with it, Black Lives Matter and trans rights are human rights. And vote.
I'll go. I'm Hannah. You can find me on Twitter at Stop That Old Woman. And I am here on Wednesday nights. And starting this Saturday, Saevrick and I are in a Star Wars game on this channel, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern, I think. We're playing Star Wars. That's awesome. And anyway, that's really all I have to offer. Thanks for letting me be the badass lunch lady of my dreams. So.
And I'm Shauna Flying Cirrus on Twitter, and you can keep track of all the art that I do and the games that I play on there, including some of the art I did for this game. All of this wonderful crew miscreants. And next time you'll see me, I will be actually tomorrow on WebDM. It's the first session of Reality Raiders, a Torg Eternity action. So I'm excited. It was a fun system. It's a strange group of people. It's like super 80s, and two of us are just super aggressive jocks, and it's wonderful.
At Torg Eternity, is that like the old school Torg, or is that like Savage Worlds, or what?
It's a little. It's like, I think it's the old Torg mixed with cards and like a little.
Oh. Shauna freeze.
Oh no!
No, a little
That's
what?
That's what we get for talking about
What
Torg.
happened, Shauna? We need more.
I never should have mentioned Torg.
Shauna!
Stay tuned for scenes from our next episode.
Horrible.
No!
Shauna, come back to us.
Come back to us.
Talk to us about
The best.
Torg. I'm so sorry.
But while they're frozen, we have to.
Shauna's
So
back.
you back?
Yay!
You back?
Welcome back.
Ah,
At what point did I freeze?
The word little.
Yeah.
We were freaking out.
Yeah, it's like I think a little bit like the old thing. There's there's cards in there, and there's a little bit of the D6 Star Wars in there. It's
oh, nice.
interesting. It's a fun system.
I first laid eyes on it like I was super young. My buddies played it, and I just couldn't wrap my head around it back then. I just know it was a very interesting looking game. Okay. Anything else before you guys want to head out tonight? I gotta stop saying that word. I'm so sorry. I think we only have like one person in our drawing tonight, so.
Which is
Sweet.
fine.
So
Pretty good
Make it
odds at
real
this point, I
simple.
do believe.
I know, right?
Yeah.
there is at least a 99% chance that's going to work.
I mean, maybe the thing's loaded. I don't know. We talked about dice earlier, right?
It
So,
could be. It could be.
oh no, Hannah won. What?
Didn't even enter.
Right?
Shit. I'm just that good.
Yeah, just lunch lady magic, baby.
Things just come up, Carlin. It's just how things
I'll just do my spiel, then right at the end of it, I'll do it. And give somebody one more second to enter it. So tonight, I have been Josh Saevrick. I've been your player and your best friend. What do I have going on? This game. Absolutely, every Wednesday. It's been so much fucking fun. It's only the second episode, and there's like so many more of them coming. And I'm not sure at this point I want to stop. But let's see. As Hannah had mentioned, Saturday should be our first episode of D20 Star Wars Exile, which is going to be taking place during the Old Republic era. I think it is going to take place just right before this Jedi Civil War. I could be wrong. I might change my mind. Hey, thank you, Jovar. Appreciate that. Now we have 2 people. Now your chances are 50-50, Chris. You're fucked now, buddy. All right. So that's all I got going on right now. I've been really seriously thinking about doing like a Halloween game. I don't know why. I just want to play more 10 Candles. I think that's the point of it.
Actually, quick shout out then. In that case, everyone go watch that 10 Candles archive that Josh ran. It is fucking awesome.
It was
I had a lot
so
of fun.
And
It was
some of
amazing.
the fine players look very familiar. Just
I
saying.
know at least 2 of them.
Wait, that's
are here
that.
already.
I don't know. So, yeah,
All right.
just say.
I appreciate that. I had a lot of fun running. I had some really, really fun players
It's awesome
too.
to watch.
Yeah, I was so happy. Well, Hannah's the one that got me to do it to begin with, but
Yeah.
and Shauna was
Nice.
kind enough to jump in for a couple of them. Didn't have a great response to it, which was sad. So I was like, Shauna, can you please play a couple more times for me? And she did, and that's
I
wonderful.
love it. Oh, it's good. It's just fun being purposely sad in a game.
Right.
At the end of the world.
Sometimes, man,
Right.
it's just cathartic.
It's awesome.
But I will say, because you did that, that's the reason why I'm playing in this game. So it all worked out.
Oh, awesome. I'm so glad. Awesome.
Was it our like amazing death scenes that drew you in?
That was the seasoning on top of the sizzled steak. You know what I mean? Because
Wow.
when he put it out there, I was like, I want to play, but I can't because I'm already busy. But we will figure something out. We will play together eventually, and this is what eventually was. So I'm
Yeah.
very happy.
Yeah, when they came, he said, "You know, some people want to play." I'm like, "I know who, just to contact." So,
Indeed.
all right, guys. Well, we're going to go ahead and do this drawing. So I guess it's between Jovar and Chris. One of the 2
And
is
Hannah.
going to win. I don't
I'm
think
the wild card.
Hannah
I know,
didn't
right?
enter because she wrote Jovar instead of Duval. So
That was really
my thing is
Really
smart
funny,
enough to
though.
recognize the difference. I may not be, but it is.
so close. Just
So-
misspelled it by this much.
Thank you, Jovar, for the drum roll. I hope that goes to the chat. I'm not sure it's going to, though. Probably not. Come on, roll me a winner.
Come on, bots.
Oh, looks like Jovar came up the winner.
Oh, snap. Coming in hot. Boop, 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 boop.
Yes, he did. Okay, so, Jovar, you want to get a hold of me sometime? Send me your address out there in sunny Indianapolis. And we will get that book out to you ASAP. So thanks a lot. Appreciate that.
Fuck yeah. Congratulations.
Otherwise,
Chris, come back next week. I'll give away a copy of Blades in the Dark next week, and you'll probably be. And Jovar
See?
can't enter next week. No repeat winners, Jovar.
No double
Jovar's
books.
going to have like a stack of them by the time it's like 14 of
What
them.
am I supposed to do? It's so heavy.
I do with all this hype. All right. Y'all have anything left before I go? Or before
Happy
we go?
birthday, Duval!
Happy
birthday,
Duval.
You
Beat me to
guys
it.
are
Son of
so cute.
bitches.
Thanks, everyone.
right.
It's been a great day. Best 25th, 9th time birthday ever.
You're looking great for 29, 25s. It's pretty good.
29, 25s. Amazing. So, thanks everybody for your coming by. Thanks for Jovar for not only winning, I guess, tonight, but for subscribing and now for the 300 bits. So, appreciate you.
Oh, yay.
So we will catch you all next Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And supposedly there's a mountain time that we all have agreed that doesn't exist. So
Nope. No,
we're
there
not
is not.
we're not going to mention it. So we'll see
Suck
you.
it, Denver.
Suck it, Denver. Sons of bitches. Okay. We'll see you all next week. And once again,
Bye.
happy birthday, Joe. Or, I'm about to say Jovar. Duval.
Joe Bar.
Fuck! So thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.
Duval.
Hoorah.